Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank all of you for listening. Our Detroit Pistons knocked off the Cleveland Cavaliers 133 to 122. Going to 42 wins for the season, 42-32. We became the first team in NBA history to triple our win total from the year before. And we're not done yet. But every episode I say, as we go on this fantastic voyage together, and this I get that from Coolio, had this song that he sang, and it's a fantastic voyage, and that's what we've been riding high on this year. So it's been so much fun, and I hope that you've enjoyed it half as much as I have. JB got to beat his former team. It's very cool, and first time we beat the Cavs, they've won 12 in a row against us. The Cavs are 59-15, and yet we thumped them tonight. So without Cade Cunningham, without Tobias Harris, without Jaden Ivey, so it was really a huge win, and so many guys played so well, and it was wonderful to see. It got scary for a minute. We were up 21 points with 34 seconds left in the third. They cut it to 2. Mitchell was on fire. He only had 16 points going into the fourth. He scored 22 in the fourth quarter, but we just hung in there, and we just kept on fighting, and we just kept on fighting. Schroder, he was struggling. He was 3 for 12 during the game, and right at the end, game's getting tighter than tight. He hits a key jumper, and then at the end he hits this big 3 that just broke him, and that was a huge win. That's what really turned the game over. But shout out Tim Hardaway Jr. I haven't been always the best fan of his, but he carried us tonight. He had 32 points, season high, 7 for 11 on threes. What a great game by him. A lot of great guys. A lot of guys played great games. I'm so excited I can't hardly stand it. But I'll turn the music off. Anyway, we had, we cut it. We're 42-32. Now the Bucks are 40-32, and so we got, we're up on them. They're playing the Knicks right now. Last I checked, with 2:29 left in the fourth, the Knicks were ahead 109-99. So it looks very likely that we'll have even a bigger lead on the Knicks. We're still trying to catch the Pacers. They're 43-30. They scored 160 some points last night. So they've been on fire lately. So yeah, it was a great game, exciting game. We outran them, man. Our fast break. So the hustle thing, man. We outscored them 25 to 6 on fast break points. We had like 22 to 0 at one time on fast break points. We also had 16 offensive rebounds against them. Duren and Ausar were really going after it. Ausar had 4 blocks, tied his career high. He made this block. Garland blew by his guy, and he thought he had this layup, uncontested layup, and out of nowhere, Ausar flies in and swats him. So a great game for Ausar. There was a stretch where we hadn't had any fast break points until 7 minutes left in the second, and Holland comes down and has an emphatic dunk, and then we come down on the break, the very next possession, and Beasley throws a lob to Ausar, and Ausar's head was above the rim, I think. He was so high. But shout out to Michigan State. Spartans, they're advancing to the Elite Eight, 73-70. They came from behind and won their game tonight. It was a gut-wrenching game. Yes, trying to watch both games at the same time is unfortunate, but it was still 2 great wins. What a night of basketball if you're a Michigan fan. And now University of Michigan's playing tonight too. Another big play in the game, though. The bench went nuts. Stu gets the ball out on the wing, away from the basket. He starts driving on Mobley and goes behind his back, crossover, busts his ankles, spins him around, and gets an and one. Mobley tries to recover and block it, but Stu was tremendous tonight. He played 21 minutes only. He was 5 for 6, and they weren't easy shots. He wasn't just like dunking and getting uncontested shots. He was amazing also. So he had a couple blocks. But yeah, it was so cool. Duren had a great game. Hurt his shoulder. He had an ice pack on it in the fourth quarter, but he did come back in and play. So that was very promising that he looks like he's going to be okay. So this is great. You know, if we win these games, we won 3 in a row without Cade, and so you know we want that. We want him 100% for the playoffs, and to win these 3 games in a row has been tremendous. And you know maybe he'll play Sunday. So we got some good games coming up. We got to play the Timberwolves on Sunday. Anthony Edwards had gotten hurt the last game. I'm sure he probably will be all right. But Wednesday night, national TV, ESPN, Pistons get to play the Thunder. So since January 1st, so the big thing about teams that win the championship, they usually are a top 10 team in defense and offense. And so in net rating. So top 4 teams in the NBA in net rating since January 1st are OKC, Cleveland, Boston, and your Detroit Pistons. Those are the top 4 teams. So, you know, we just, you know, sometimes I think that we even underrate ourselves because it's so amazing and so incredible where we came from. But this showed again tonight, just like we've shown before, we're playing a great team. They had their 4 stars. Their 4 stars were healthy. Allen and Garland and Mobley and Mitchell, they were all playing. They all played the whole game. Mobley struggled a little bit. He only had 9 points on 3 of 10. He had a couple threes. Ausar blocked his shot. It was really cool. So yeah, it was a great game for our Pistons. They'll be thrilled. Schroder, they interviewed him after the game, and he said, "JB Coach of the Year." So he said everybody how much they love each other and how much they pull for each other and how much they value JB. And so it was just a really great night for us. But we got to play the Thunder on Wednesday, then we play the Raptors Friday, and back to back we got to play the Grizzlies on Saturday, and then the Kings on the following Monday. So we got to keep on rolling, man. It's the only heartbreaking thing. The only bad thing about this season is it's going to get over because it has been so much fun. It's been a fantastic voyage, like Coolio's song says. And so I hope that you enjoyed it. Well, Ausar was 8 for 18, and some of the times he shot shots and he got his own rebound and he put it back. So he got some misses, but he ended up converting anyway. His shot looks better. I went to the Piston game on Tuesday. We took my grandson, had a fun time. Except I got these tickets in the fall and to see Wemby play, and obviously I want to see Cade play. But Cade and Wemby don't play, so it was bummer there. But I got to see, Ausar looked really good, and but watching him in warmups, I can tell a lot, by how a guy shoots the ball. His form has really gotten good. And it's going to really get better and better and better. Again, I have mentioned in the past, I don't think it'll be great till next year. I think he'll be a really solid shooter by partway through next year. But it's still going to take time. But the form is there, so that's important. Yeah, Holland and him. So here's the thing that all in the off season, and everybody said, yeah, Holland and Ausar can't play together. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know to get all the stats, but they've been playing together a lot this year. And they've even played together. I've seen them play together, Holland, Ausar, and Duren all together. So everybody that says, oh, yeah, we can't do that, but we can. So, I'm sure we don't want to have 3 non-shooters out there very long, but it can happen. I was surprised tonight. I really thought when I found out Tobias wasn't playing, I really thought there would be a few minutes out there where Duren and Stewart played together when Mobley and Allen were out on the court together. So that surprised me, but obviously JB knows what he's doing. It's working. So yeah, Ausar was, like I said, he was 8 for 18, but 10 rebounds, 3 offensive, 2 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, 18 points. That's a stat line, folks. Yeah, it's a great player, and he's just a baby still. So Duren played 27 minutes, 6 for 9, 4 for 6 on free throws. Again, he hurt his shoulder, so we hope he's okay. And I almost forgot one thing. Hardaway had that great game, 10 for 18 from the floor, 7 for 11 on threes. 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 3 assists. But 2 of his assists were, it looked like he was going to drive in and take a contested hard shot, and he found Ausar under the basket for a dunk. And those were, especially the second ones, it was really a huge basket for us. So good job, Tim Hardaway. But Duren, yeah, he had 16 points and 6 offensive rebounds. He just was a man-child down there. Beasley played 36 minutes, 4 for 10, 3 for 5, but 8 for 8 on free throws. He got fouled on a 3 once. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. So that's, he doesn't always play that solid. Of course, he doesn't always play 36 minutes, but he had 19 points with really good stats all around. And again, Schroder was 2 for 12, and then he hit 2 ginormous buckets. I didn't want him to shoot them, and he knocks them down. But yeah, he is fearless. I'll tell you another thing about Schroder. If you watch the game, he gets loose balls. The ball's kicking around, and a lot of guys would not go for him. And Schroder is scrappy. He's going after the ball. He goes in there and gets them. But he had 7 rebounds. He's tiny. He's little and skinny. He's got long arms, but 10 assists and only 2 turnovers and 17 points. So he was huge, and he's loving it just like the other vets on our team. Sasser's been so much on fire. I thought we really needed him tonight to step up. He played 19 minutes. He was 1 for 9. And again, if you listen to my podcast, this is what happens. It's like feast or famine with Sasser. He's either red hot or ice cold, and obviously it's a mental thing. He's got a good shot, but hopefully he can get confidence. But it is hard when you get inconsistent minutes. But he's been getting consistent minutes lately, so it's just unfortunate that we could have used him. He was 1 for 5 on threes, 1 for 2 from the line only, 4 assists, 4 points. Tech only played 14 minutes and was 1 for 3. Like I said, Stu, 21 minutes. That's all he plays. He doesn't play. He plays like between 19 and 21 minutes. He doesn't usually play ever more than that. But he was tremendous with 4 for 5, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 14 points. And like I said, he had the move of the night where he spun Mobley right around with his behind the back. And I love this team. I love how they celebrated Stu on that move. Hopefully he'll get on some time run on NBA shows on NBA Today and maybe on SportsCenter Top 10 Plays. I doubt it, but we'll see. It should be on NBA TV too, I would think. But Holland, 19 minutes, 4 for 5 from the floor, but 2 for 3 on threes. So, he hasn't shot that many. He's been good lately. He's been going into that game, he was like 4 for 10, 4 for his last 10. And so now then he goes 2 for 3. So that's 6 for his last 13, which is really good. So on threes, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. He did have 3 turnovers, so sometimes he gets a little bit excited. He had 10 points, but we only had 13 turnovers the whole night, and he had 3 of them. So we were 30 for 35 from the line. They were 29 for 38. So they missed some free throws, and Mitchell shot a ton of free throws. He was like 11 for 11, and he got fouled at the end of the game when they had cut it to 2, and he missed one of his shots when they, almost had cut it to 2. But I want to just talk about this real quick. But Taylor Jenkins coaches the Grizzlies, and I'm a coach. I don't always defend every coach. I try to tell it like it is. I don't watch the Grizzlies play that much, but I just can tell you he is a phenomenal coach. He is one of the best coaches in the NBA. There's times when, Ja doesn't play half the time, and they still have won games. And they had one of the best offenses a lot of the year, and he just makes things happen. He develops players, guys who weren't drafted that high or that great. He turns them into good players. I just really admire him, and he will not be waiting long for a coaching job. So if I needed a coach for the Pistons, I would hire him in a heartbeat, but we got JB. We got the coach of the year, according to Schroder. So we'll see. But I did get a kick. This really struck me. I go to the Pistons game. They're playing the Spurs, and we wax them. We blow them right out of the gym. But they, Chris Paul. So just like JB respects the vets, and so he always is going to play the vets no matter what. But they play Chris Paul, and they're like tanking, but they play him all these minutes. They start him, but I feel bad for the guy. He's played in the NBA like 20 years, not quite, and he he spends half his time crying to the refs and arguing with refs. And so when you're at the game, you get to see he's talking to the refs even when there's a timeout, even when there's a dead ball, even when nothing's going on. He's still whining and talking to the refs. But anyway, thank you for going on the fantastic voyage with me and with our Pistons. Looking forward to Sunday's game. Be the reason that somebody feels happy, and go Pistons.